It's now my pleasure to welcome our diamond partner ALD Automotive Wheels, Mitsubishi Auto Leasing, for its thought leadership presentation. Global and local, the fine art of mastering global fleet management. Finding the right balance between global strategy and local management is never easy, which is why you need to make sure you have the right tools and support so that you can ease and smooth your efficient fleet strategy. 5 expert speakers will explain how transcontinental fleets can achieve that balance, from global strategic fleet priorities to consistent execution across markets with local nuances. Please welcome Amalia PAPASTEFANOU, International Key Account Product and Loyalty Manager at ALD Automotive, Thierry, Head of Sales and Client Relations, International Key Accounts at ALD Automotive, Guillaume, BOURST, Global Product Director at Wheels, Kentaro Obayashi, General Manager Sales Promotion Department at Mitsubishi Auto Leasing, Keita Inoue, General Manager Business Development Department at Mitsubishi Auto Leasing.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening across the globe, and welcome to this Global Fleet Conference. Together with my colleagues and partners, Thierry, Guillaume, Kentaro-san, and Keita-san, we will be taking you through the art of mastering your global fleet. We will start with Guillaume, and I leave the floor to him.
Thank you very much, Amalia. So let's start with a generic slide that speaks to the challenges and the benefits to a global fleet approach. The idea here is to introduce a few concepts that can be both a challenge as you start your journey towards a global fleet management, but as you turn the corner on some of these topics, it becomes a great benefit of having this consistent global approach. If you take a topic like data consistency, for example, you start with a very inconsistent flow of data from all around the world, but as you build your program, this will get better and better and allow you to achieve the goals that you've set for your organization. So through the course of this webinar, we will be touching on extended coverage, on some tips around visibility and control, on economies of scale and supplier consolidation. I will kick it off with a topic around stakeholder management and definition of success, because this is something that can be overwhelming at first. As you start your journey towards more of a global fleet approach, you are engaging with much more stakeholders than you were at a local level. You have people from each country, you have people at regional level, and people at global level that may all have a slightly different definition of what the fleet should look like, considering if you're an HR person, if you're in procurement, if you're sitting in health and safety or in sustainability. So having a common definition of success is important. And if we go to the next slide, our tip here to create a common definition of success through your company is to look at who you are and make the fleet look like who you are as a company. Your company has its own company culture, something that has been defined, and both internally and externally to define who you are. So the purpose of a company culture is to create a community of people and help them to achieve better results. You can see on the left-hand side the benefit of a company culture, and many of the points here actually applies to what you want to do with your fleet and with the fleet stake and the stakeholder of your global fleet. So if we translate that into what it means for your fleet specifically, and you can see that the foundation of any good global fleet management program is obviously TCO and cost control. But this TCO and this cost control allows you to make choices to your fleet and prioritize things that are important to you as a global organization. So looking at who you are, you can define a handful. We recommend between 1 and a maximum of 3 global priorities that we call pillars of your global fleet culture, and things that where you want to be better than your competitors, better than the market, and really lead the way, both at international level and at local level. It can be around sustainability, it can be around safety, it can be around innovation, or it can be something that we call here dirt cheap, but the idea is you really want to run a low-cost fleet, and you're going to make a conscious decision to go very cheap on your fleet because you want to go with the lowest cost possible. And the idea of defining that at early on and at a high level allows you to set a clear priority for your local organization, for your regional organization, and also for your partner, and tell them what you care about, to make sure that everybody is focused on finding the best solution, both at local level and at international level, to tackle this problem and make you a best in class in this topic. With that, I hand over to Thierry to introduce you to the coverage.
Thank you very much, Guillaume. Good day all, wherever you are. Supplier consolidation, simplified vendors management is more effective, obviously, when your suppliers have a wide geographic coverage. We provide leasing and fleet management services in 59 markets through our alliance, as presented on this map. In global RFPs, usually, this extended presence covers 90% of clients' fleet and 80% of clients' markets. You will note on this map our alliance leading position in many markets. We think it's clearly the best coverage you can get. Next, please. When going global, as mentioned by Guillaume, you create an expectation of what success is for you as global category lead and for you many more stakeholders, meaning there is a bit of pressure on you. Everyone is expecting tangible progress on your 2 or 3 strategic global priorities and progress everywhere on a wide geography. For this, you need the local capabilities of your vendors to be consistent as much as possible across markets. And you are going to organize your governance accordingly. What we observe is that well-governed global clients have fleet policy decided with a combination of global and local stakeholders. Some clients call this a fleet council. And when those decisions have been worked together, they are much easier to implement across countries. We also observe that clients having most clarity on the criteria used for sourcing decisions are those delivering better on their global fleet strategy. When going global, there will be situations where third-party telematics providers, energy providers, fleeters are working in parallel to your global lessors. And your success will really depend, again, on governance and the clarity you achieve in defining the roles and the scope of work of each of those providers. You want to avoid costly and confusing overlaps on tasks and missions. Picking the right global fleet partners is certainly challenging. Here we are suggesting 5 areas to check: data, organization, resources, transparency, and digital tools. And in some RFPs, we see clients asking very precise questions. Also in clients meeting, we see clients asking to be proved that we have what we are presenting, like live demos on digital tools, or providing live demos of reporting tools, providing statistics on out of contract, end of contracts. And I think these are indeed the right approach, the good questions to ask yourself. Next, please. There is one thing you cannot verify easily in any RFP documentation. It is the culture and the values of the suppliers you are considering. In other words, what's the true DNA of the company? At ALD and Wheels, we share a common passion, and we do it together for 12 years, for customer centricity. This explains our good client satisfaction score and our rather good client retention rate. Your assurance of our client-centric culture is that we are partners for a long time and we challenge and support each other constantly. With such a way of working, there is no risk of complacency because we push each other on innovation, service level. We have close collaboration at all levels, products, digital, sales, and our executives talk on a very regular basis. Our sales team talk every week. We work together on more than 70 global clients. More recently, as an alliance, we have decided to further invest in CSR to make sure we lead the charge on emission reductions, accompanying our clients on electrification. For example, recently we have helped a common client define its CO2 targets year by year, region by region, towards a carbon neutral global fleet in 2025. We are also very serious about road safety. We have solutions in place to support our clients in that regard. We make strong commitments to our clients, investors, and stakeholders on ESG. Our culture is around continuity. We are stable. We are here to stay. And in that regard, I'm very pleased to introduce today a new member of our alliance who has joined us last year in 2020, Mitsubishi Auto Leasing. Our friends in Japan are having strength and stability for 50 years. And I was thinking that for this 12 hours round-the-clock conference, there is no better evidence than talking to you as one team working across 12 time zones from Chicago to Tokyo. So Kentaro-san, I pass you the ball.
Thank you so much, Thierry. For this slide, let me introduce Mitsubishi Auto Leasing in brief. Mitsubishi Auto Leasing Corporation established in 1972. We have been leading Japanese auto leasing industry for half century, and we are one of the top 4 auto leasing companies in terms of size. Thanks for 24,000 of domestic our customers, we are managing 260,000 vehicles now. The brand of Mitsubishi reminds you as Mitsubishi Motors. It's because our origin was joint venture of Mitsubishi Motors. However, currently our parent companies are Mitsubishi Corporation and Mitsubishi HC Capital, which are one of the largest trading and leasing companies in Japan. This is why we can provide multi-brand of OEMs to clients in response to their demand. We have strong presence in Japanese market in terms of fleet management service, such as business process outsourcing services called BPO, telematics, and EVs. Especially, BPO contracts reach to 20,000 now, and we have long-term 10 years experience for EV consulting service. Next, please, Amalia. This slide shows our capability. First of all, we believe we are a trusted and innovative auto leasing company. As I mentioned previous slide, we can provide multi-brand OEM and multi-vehicle types such as BEV, truck, forklift, for example. And providing high-quality services, 24 full support for diverse industries, from SME to large corporation, by trusted team supporting which has no less than 100 dedicated experts. As you may know, Japanese fleet market has huge potential. The number of registered vehicles reach approximately 80 million, and leased vehicle is 4 million. One more click, please, Amalia. Fleet management service has already matured, but there is a few players which can provide global fleet management services. In regard to this point, we have strong competitiveness compared to our domestic competitors. Thanks to ALD and Wheels Alliance, We can provide global fleet management services meeting our global client needs, such as fleet data integration for ALDNet, Open Blue Code, etc. And we have unique and innovative services. We are first telematics service provider in Japan. And we also provide consultancy services to reduce burden and improve productivities with lower cost, business process outsourcing services, user-friendly mobility services such as car sharing, personal leasing, and even consultation. That's our MAA brief introduction. Thank you for listening. Keita, do you have anything to add?
Thank you, Kentaro-san. I just would like to add one thing about our EV capability. Given the strong presence of hybrid in Japan, since the world's first mass-produced EV, Mitsubishi i-MiEV, launched in 2009, we MAL have been providing EV leasing and fleet management services for clients and accumulated experience. And what is more, our strategic alliance with ALD Wheels helps us have more product idea and options for clients. Okay, I will hand it over to Amalia. Amalia, please.
Thank you, Keita-san. So to bring everything together, we will see our comprehensive alliance tool on the fleet reporting. ALDNet provides a lot of information. It brings multiple reporting possibilities, open communication with our customers, shows the value of our work, and showcases all the important strategic decisions that our customers choose to see. You can look into the KPIs, the widgets in the dashboard, depending on the different interests and the areas that you want to focus. You can tailor your view from a global to a regional to a local view and drill down to contract level to get as much details as you need. We also have inventory and financial data. We have fuel, CO2, mileage deviations, as well as electrification reporting and anything else that you may need. Exporting into different formats, we cover, of course, the different currencies, the different distance conversions around the globe in order to showcase how global the tool is. It's also very flexible. It means that everything is dynamic. You can choose and customize your own reports. You can also design your own reports as per your needs and save them so you can go back and advise at any time. Also, an important topic is the accessibility on a 24/7 basis with a daily refresh, the availability of the tool in 14 different languages, as well as a mobile application. Further to that, what we can also provide is multi-vendor global reporting. Wherever you may have fleet, whether this is leased or owned, from different type of vendors, in a full inventory view, your current fleet or your legacy fleet can all be consolidated and provided in analytics and also down to the vehicle one. We choose a third neutral party to be able to provide you with this report. And what we also advocate is that this is your data and your ownership. Thank you very much for listening today. We hope that you have gathered all the great tips from our side to be able to manage your fleet well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Amalia, Thierry, Guillaume, Kentaro and Keita for this great thought leadership presentation and also the support from the Alliance ALD Automotive, Wheels, Mitsubishi Auto Leasing during this conference.